Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. So we're going to continue from the last video, the topic on of self-actualization, the road to self-actualization. So self-actualization doesn't just happen all at once, and it happens by degrees, by subtle changes in life, and it begins when you personally take responsibility of your thoughts, of your mental health, of your physical health, of your life, your current situation, your health, your overall health, and the kind of things you want to do with your body, your mind, your life, your soul. So we will touch base a little bit on purification of the soul as well, which is not so easy to achieve. A lot of people, they go through so many phases of self-correction. They have to put themselves in so many difficult situations to explore their souls. Sometimes they just have to listen to so many unpleasant things which they do not want to listen to, but just for it's actually called, let me see, Tadhib nafs, if I'm not pronouncing it correctly. I think it's Tadhib an-Nafs. So it's actually the English translation is the purification of the soul and self-actualization of yourself. Yeah. So we're gonna go there, talk a little bit from that, and then once you take responsibility of correcting your life, directing your life, you must commit yourself to becoming the best version of yourself. And in doing so, you might need a little bit of motivation. You might need some good books, some favorite quotes, some ayahs of Quran, some favorite du'as. So until one is committed, there is hesitancy, but the chance to draw back and then always ineffectiveness, it can always come in. You can always pour in, and then there are ways to channel those too. So concerning all acts of initiation, or you can say initiative acts like creating self-actualization for yourself, there is always one elementary truth, and the elementary truth can be one of it could be just ignorance, which kills countless ideas and splendid plans. The opposite of ignorance could be awareness of that truth, and then providence. So providence is in itself such a big term that just elaborating it could be, for example, from the Quran. If I try to explain providence, it just means Qadr, or God's decree. And self-actualization or purification of the soul, they are interwoven, and while Qadr suggests everything is preordained, everything is by the decree of and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, self-actualization emphasizes, that's beautiful. Self-actualization emphasizes the human potential for growth and striving towards spiritual excellence through a conscious effort and divine guidance. So how do you do that? If you start working on self-correcting yourself, purification of the soul, purification of the heart, you automatically connect with the higher purpose and with the higher being. So Qadr is just, what is the difference between Qadr and free will? So the concept of Qadr, it raises the question of free will, that if everything cannot be just predestined, it's also there is things which are predetermined, yes, but then there are things in which we have the choice, and there are two ways. You follow yes this path, you follow yes no path. These are the consequences at the end of the road, these are the results at the end of this road, and what decision you want to make. This is your free will. That's why we are Ashraf al-Makhluk. That's why we are the best of the creations of God. And the dual aspects of Qadr could be that it often has, like I said, two aspects. One is degree, and the other is measure, highlighting the interconnectedness of God's will and unfolding of the events, while the human agency within Qadr is that it has to be honest with its decisions. It has to be rectifying its in niyyah. It has to be taking responsibility of its actions. It has to be accountable of its actions with full justice, and then there is an ongoing process of moral, spiritual perfection, which should be guided by a mentor, a darwish, a proper teacher, a sheikh, whoever you feel aligned with. And then this is your own personal effort to reach there. So achieving a soul at peace like nafs al-mutma'inna is actually the inner tranquility, the contentment, which is achieved through faith, trust in God, aligning one's actions with divine guidance, and then the intertwining between providence and self-actualization. So providence, like we say, as a framework, it can be the other, which provides overarching framework within. Amina is painting here. Okay, so sorry for a bit of distraction, but so self-actualization is actually Qadr, which provides overarching framework within self-actualization, which takes place, for example. So while God's will is ultimate, humans are also responsible for their actions, choices, and contribution to their personal growth. Like I said, that niyyah is really important. Judge yourself. Actions are actually judged on the niyyah, or the sincerity of one's intentions, and not the consequences. So you better know yourself. Why am I doing a certain thing? Why am I committed to my health? Why am I committed to eating not processed, not refined, not junk foods, fast food? So this is your niyyah. This is your honesty to yourself and your health. Now there are 7 steps towards the positive mental attitude, and I just want to touch base a little bit. So in an effort to help you develop a positive mental attitude, as well as to attain self-actualization, there are 7 steps. Number 1 is to become an optimist, with being a realist too. And a realistic person can be optimistic too. Then becoming self-aware of the self-talk, ask better questions, and employ positive affirmations, and setting positive goals. So you should have some goals in life, and then practicing positive visualization, and then staying happy. So let's go a little deeper into these points. And so number 1 is becoming an optimist. And when you become an optimist, you really want to check and balance your thoughts, and you want to see that what positive affirmations you can give yourself. So optimism, it is a vital component of good health, like I discussed in the last video also, and it's an ally in the healing process. Focus on the positives even in a challenging situation. Then number 2 is become aware of self-talk. We all talk to ourselves, and there is constant dialogue taking place in our head every second, and our self-talk makes an impression on our subconscious mind. In order to develop and maintain a positive mental attitude, we must guard against the negative self-talk, and sometimes there is a lot of waswas and whispers from shaitan. And then what we can do is try to block those, try to distinguish between the whispers of shaitan and between your own thoughts. So this, when you achieve this level, here is where you start recognizing your own uh, negative thoughts, and you start recognizing the thoughts which are being whispered into you. And when you get this distinguished, you have a lot of control on your own thoughts, and you become aware of your self-talk and then cautiously work to improve and imprint positive self-talk on the subconscious mind. Then there are powerful tools how to do that. We can also discuss this in the coming videos. Step 3 is ask better questions. So, any individual who is met with certain challenges, he can ask a number of questions to himself. For example, he can say, why does this always happen to me? Why me? Why am I so um, stupid? Why do I get these kind of questions in my? They can even think, why do I get these kind of questions in my head? Why are these problems reoccurring to me? What would be a higher quality question? You can ask that. Once you start asking yourself what kind of questions you're asking, how about, this is a very interesting situation. What do I need to learn from the situation so that I um, don't get stuck in it again? Or how about, what can I do to make my situation better next time? And another example is, let's look at an individual who suffers from depression. He would be asking questions to herself like, why am I always so depressed? Why do things always seem to go wrong for me? Why am I so unhappy? He's trying to figure out what's wrong in his head with the situation. So the better questions he can ask is probably, what do I need to do to gain more enjoyment and happiness in my life? What do I need to commit to doing in order to have more happiness and energy in my life? What kind of routines can I set myself so that I'm not stuck in this depressive mode in my life? And then after she has answered these questions, she might ask, if I had happiness and high energy levels right now, what would it feel like? And what am I going to do with those? Even if you have happiness and you have the energy, it is such a big ni'mah, blessing, that you you feel accountable for it too, and you want to do something in your life that is so powerful, that you want to change the world and you want to do something. And now when you go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he asks you that, I gave you this energy and I gave you positive moods and I gave you blessings and so many things, and what did you do with it in your life? And then you said, yes, I have done something. So unless there is a physiological reason for chronic fatigue, like chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, MS, it won't take really long to get to the subconscious beliefs and change them, inshallah ta'ala. So regardless of the situation, just asking better questions, it really bounds you to improve your attitude towards life. If you want to have a better life, simply ask better questions like, what am I most happy about in my life right now? What is it that makes me happy? How do I feel right now? What kind of people are there which are, they make me happy? And if you want to connect with those kind of people, and what am I most excited about in my life, then what does it take me to get excited, and what does it take me to feel excited, and why am I most grateful? What are the things which make me most grateful? Who are the people which make me more grateful? How does that make me feel when I feel more grateful? What am I enjoying about in my life the most? What kind of things are there which I want to do, which I enjoy, and doing them, how does that make me feel? So what are the things which I am committed to? Why am I committed to those? And how does that make me feel? Whom do I love and why do I love them? And who loves me? What must I do today to achieve my long-term? I love you too, my amo. What must we do to achieve my long-term goals, right? So positive affirmations, they really help us in emotionally regulating ourselves, and um, they have some emotional positive intensity behind them. Positive affirmations can make imprints on the subconscious mind to create a healthy positive self image. In addition, positive affirmations can actually fuel the changes you desire. You may want to have any blessings, any abundance, any energy, any love, joy, happiness, which can flow through every heartbeat, and saying thankful words to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all my good fortune, for all my good things in life, and always saying, yes, I can do it. So, yes, I can handle it. So here are certain guidelines which I can just, quickly go through and tell you, like, how you can make positive affirmations in your life. For example, you can say, number one, always phrase an affirmation in the present tense. Imagine that it has already happened and it has already come to pass. Then number two, always phrase the affirmation as a positive statement. Do not use the words not, never, and it's never gonna happen, and Number three, do your best to totally associate with the positive affirmation, um, which are generated through your feelings in your heart and mind, and keep the affirmation short and simple, but full of feeling and full of energy, which is kind of radiating. And be creative. You can note it down in journals. You can record in a video. You can use your phone, note down in your notes. Imagine yourself really experiencing what you are affirming to. Imagine the affirmation personal to you and full of meaning. So, for example, if you are a mother, imagine yourself sitting happily with your children. If you are a grandparent, imagine yourself sitting happily with your grandchildren and having a lot of laughters and happy moments. Yeah, so Amina is doing her pottery here. Yeah. So going back on step 5, setting positive goals. Now, learning to set goals in a way that results in a positive mental attitude or positive experience is another powerful method. And, by raising self-esteem, and goals can be used to create a success cycle. Now, what's a success cycle? Like, achieving goals help you feel better about yourself. It gives you confidence. It boosts your self-esteem. If you're a beginner, set certain goals which you can achieve. For example, I will wake up early today and I will eat healthy breakfast, and you do it. This gives you inner satisfaction and self-confidence about yourself. So achieving goals helps you feel better about yourself. And the better you feel about yourself, the better you glow outside from inside out. And another example can be, I enjoy eating healthful, low calorie, nutritious food. And then, sometimes you can say in another way, like, I will not eat candies, chocolates, and junk food or fast food. And yeah, so make your goals attainable and realistic, and just don't think that I'm gonna drop down 10 kilos in a week, in a month. That's not realistic, and you're not gonna do it, and then you will lose the belief in yourself and your abilities. Again, goals can be used to create a success cycle, like I said, and a positive self-image, like I said. Little things, they add up to make a major difference in the way you feel about yourself. Nobody else outside your life has the authority to make you feel bad about yourself. Nobody. You have not given this authority to anybody out of your control, out of your life. And even if they say something bad about yourself, it should not be affecting you, because you know who you are, because you achieve your goals. You live in a realistic you. So be specific. The more clearly your goals are defined, the more clearly you're going to reach them, inshallah ta'ala, and pray for them and thrive for them. So, for example, if you want to lose weight, what is the body fat percentage, what BMI you are, what measurements you desire, define them clearly, write them down, and then every week by week, slowly go down. State the goal in the present time, not the future time. In order to reach your goal, you have to believe you have already attained it. You must program yourself to achieve the goal. See and feel yourself having already achieved the goal. Now, if you are a new mom and you just had a baby, you do not expect to go down back in your pre-baby body, because realistically it's not possible. You just gave birth to children. So you set a goal. How many years? 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line? It's up to you. And be comfortable with it and be confident. So any voyage begins by steps, following the steps. And short-term goals, when they are achieved, automatically you reach the end of the goal. And so the positive affirmations is step 3, which says imagining yourself in that state of health where you want your body and mind to be. And we have to be able to see our success and our life and the way we want it to be. We just have to imagine it every day, like how you want to ideally think about your health. Picture yourself in ideal health. And if you really want to experience it, you have to visualize it first. So some of the most powerful tools of visualization are used in enhancing the immune system for cancer patients. And this is all on you, your creativity. Have fun with your positive visualizations, and you will soon find yourself living the life and the health of how you want it to be, health of your dreams. So the last point is laugh and be happy. And I think this point I do not want to continue in this video, because I really want to first find that balance from Islam, that how can we stay happy, in what circumstances are we told to stay happy, and what are some of the examples of staying happy in the worst situations. So looking at happy children faces coming from Gaza is another moment for us to realize how happy we should be, right? So yeah, this was it for today's video, and in the next video we're gonna continue with step 7. Assalamu alaikum, and take care of yourself. Do you want to say anything, Ami? What do you want to say? Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Masalama.
Masalama.